Hello, I'm here to do my check-in for the 2022 Chloe Ting Get Toned Challenge, week 3, and let you know how it went. I really had to do some revamping with this past week of the challenge. I had great results. Really happy with how everything turned out. I did see another inch reduction, no, half an inch reduction in my waist. And so that makes an inch so far for the challenge, and feel really good about that. And I'm heading into week 4, which is awesome, home stretch, okay? But it has been particularly difficult to keep up with doing strength training like back to back to back to back to back. Normally, you know, especially if you're just getting back to strength training, you know, people usually start with more of like a 3-day schedule where they, you know, strength train, have a day off, strength train, have a day off, strength train, have a day off. And that's to give the muscles time to sort of like bounce back. Because all the muscle growth, you know, all the benefit you get from strength training, it doesn't actually happen while you're training. It happens while you're resting. And I feel like if I were to give any constructive criticism about this challenge, I would say that's where it's lacking a little bit. There needs to be more rest days integrated. The rest days need to be lined up a little differently. Because there's some days where like you got 3 days in a row, you're strength training for your lower body. And that's actually really advanced training to load the lower body like that. And if you're somebody that's new to strength training or you're just getting into it, it's a little too advanced of a place to just hop right into. You're going to need to build up to that, you know, level of intensity. It's fine if it's like alternating, like one day of lower body training, then the next day you train upper body. Then you can train every day if different muscle groups are being challenged. But when it's the same muscle group every time, back to back to back like that, it's a lot. I got really sore this week, and I have experience with strength training. I was so sore this week from just the lack of rest time for my lower body that I actually dropped my extra sets I was doing out back with the Olympic bar, deadlifts, and squats, because I realized what she's got going on here is intense enough. And if I go and do that, I'm pushing it too hard, and then I'm going to overtrain or I'm going to potentially injure myself. So I backed off in that regard. And yet, not yesterday, the day before. Yesterday, I took my active rest. The day before that, I actually did all low intensity version of the workout because my muscles were just so sore. They were that sore. You know, there's good sore, and then there's the sore to the extent where it's like, no, you really need to rest. You really need to rest. So again, you know, that's been my whole thing with going through this challenge, is keeping that intuitive piece, not letting that piece get lost in the process, right? You know, I have to stay connected to what my body is telling me. I do want to stay on track with the challenge. I want to complete it within the time frame, you know, that's been established, which is 28 days. I'm on target for that right now, so I don't want to start throwing in extra rest days or anything like that. I don't want to prolong the workouts. I'm ready to get to my week of active rest, to be honest with you. I'm really ready to just enjoy that. My body's ready for it. And I plan on really nurturing myself deeply this time around on my active rest week, because the next challenge I'm taking on is that 2-week shred challenge. And I know that that's really going to be like upping the ante. I've already been, you know, kind of checking out comments on the videos and stuff. And I know that people say that's the one that really puts the pedal to the metal and tests you. So I want to make sure I'm well rested, I'm well nourished and nurtured up and ready to jump into that and really give it all I got for those 2 weeks, because I decided that this summer what I'm going to do is I'm going to branch away from this And I'm really going to flow into the harmony of the summer season. I want to do more outdoor workouts. I want to do, you know, more like walks with Ted. I want to take my TRX and head outside and get a good TRX session in. I'm lucky that I have that, and I love working outdoors in the summertime. It's something I really enjoy. I also might look into if there's a pool nearby that I can access, get some swimming in. Yeah, I just want to move into more of that outdoor activity energy for the summertime for my workouts. And I also feel like I want to focus more on dance. So I'm going to pull in some Mike Peel. He's great. He has really great, you know, cardio sessions, you know, where you just drill the choreo, and I love that. So I'm going to bring that in, you know, bring more of my yoga in, and just sort of just let my body do what it wants to do this summer, you know, have kind of more of a free flow with my fitness and just see what happens. So I'm going to do that through, you know, through the summertime. And then in September, I'm going to pick up the Chloe Ting challenge again. And I'll probably do a couple rounds leading up to my birthday. And I'm not sure which ones I'll do. She might put out something new in that time frame, you know, over the summer. We'll see. But I got this challenge to finish up here. And then I got the next one coming in, the shred challenge. And then I'm going to be like finished with this. And I know I talked about moving these videos from this channel. I keep going back and forth on that decision, you know. Do I want to move them off of this channel, move it over to Cobra's medicine bag or not? And then I've ultimately just decided I'm just going to go ahead and keep these videos here because it is something that I wanted to share with you all, you know, share a bit about my experience and who I am personally and the things I'm working on in my life, just as a way to really like connect with you guys. But I think in the future, like the shred challenge I do, I think I'm actually going to do it over on Cobra's medicine bag and not post it here. But I want to finish out this series here with you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and leave them up, you know. I'm going to leave them up here. So if you want to keep following me and see what happens next, when I take on the Summer Shred Challenge a few weeks from now, hit up my other page, Cobra's Medicine Bag, my other channel, and you can find the link to that in any of the tarot readings, any of the readings posted on this channel in the description box. There's all my social media connects and all that stuff too, okay? So yeah, so here I am. I had a really good result, you know, with week 3. It's funny. It seems like my body's in a pattern. It's in a set pattern. I dropped a ½ inch from my waist. This has been stereotypical of my experience since I started doing these challenges. This is my 3rd challenge with Chloe Ting. And it always tends to go like that. First week, I drop a ½ inch from my waist. The next week, it stays steady. The 3rd week, I drop another ½ inch from my waist. And the 4th week, I drop another ½ inch. I've averaged 1.5 inches for all the 2 previous rounds. I anticipate it'll probably be the same with this one. And I'm good with that, you know. Slow and steady wins the race. I don't need to see any huge dramatic shift in that regard, you know, like overnight. I've learned my lesson with all that stuff, you know. You just got to let your body have the time and space it needs to, you know, find its homeostasis where it's happy and integrate these changes in a way that won't have a negative impact on your metabolism, you know. So I'm really letting my body take the lead. I am still tremendously sore today, you know, with those 5 training sessions in a row, blasting the lower body so heavy. I'm just like, oh my gosh, my legs are so incredibly sore. So I think that today I'm going to go ahead and just let myself do low impact again. And that's going to be the way I'm going to sort of find the happy middle. I don't want to disrupt the challenge and take an extra day off. I want to stay on that 28-day cycle. but I do think that I need to respect what my body's telling me. My body's like, please, you know, don't do the jumping jacks today. You know, don't put impact on the joints today. You know, don't pile on more weight. My muscles are still rebuilding right now, and I need to let them have the space to do that so I can really, you know, get the benefit of this strength training I'm doing. If I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing with the strength training, like it's not going to help with muscular growth. All the growth happens during the time I like relax and let my body rest and do that repair work, you know? So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to, you know, not do the Olympic bar, you know, additional. That was my addition. That has nothing to do with the challenge. I'm not going to do that for this final week because 6 days in a row is going to be enough. And I'm just going to respect that. I'll see where my body's at. I'm definitely going to bring the weights in, you know, for this final week, but I may not do every day with the weights. I may do some days with just body weight, and that is an option with this challenge. And I want to make sure that I'm not getting into these places of rigidity where what is kind of like on deck for the challenge has me bypassing the communication my body is giving me. That's how I'm staying connected to my intuitive approach to both, you know, food and fitness. And I do want to say, you know, I had great results this week, you know, week 3, a lot of changes in my body. It's really kind of cool. I was able to put on some things that I haven't been able to wear for a while. So that was nice, just to really see that, wow, I've really physically shifted a lot. I remember when I couldn't wear this shirt, you know, so that's always exciting when you do see that you're getting the actual, you know, physical result of the hard work that you've been putting in. But I also, you know, really want to just, you know, enjoy what I'm doing too. I don't want to get into any places of rigidity. And I noticed this past week that there were some, you know, there were some treats I wanted to have, and some things that in the past, like my diet mentality, you know, in the past would have been like, well, you can't like work out like this and then have these treats. You should be eating clean while you're doing this. And so it was really interesting to see that I had these great results, you know, this week, but I also had my treats. And it just goes to show, you know, that you don't have to eat perfect. You don't have to eat perfectly clean and advance toward your desire to be more healthy, to be fit, to release excess weight you're carrying. You know, it's really about eating in a way that's sustainable and enjoyable for you, and listening to your body, knowing when you're hungry, knowing when you're full and you've had enough. You know, and as long as you listen to that and you respect what your body's telling you, you know, having some treats, you know, it's not going to be a problem. It's when you go out of balance with it. It's when you restrict it. And then when you do have it, you feel like you have to like go overboard and like mow down and, you know, eat everything at once because, well, I got to get back to clean eating tomorrow. That'll really sabotage you. So this is the whole reason why I did this series, is I wanted people to know that, you know, there is a way to get healthy without having to sacrifice anything, without having to follow any diet, without having to listen to all this stuff that gets kind of rammed down our throat by all these fitness gurus. You know, it's like you can just listen to your body. Your body knows what you need. It knows when you've had enough, and it knows exactly what will satisfy you. And you know, some days you do need to have the cupcake. You need to have the cupcake because it's what's going to give you pleasure, and it's what's going to give you satisfaction in the food you're eating that day. And that's important too. You know, it's important that you're eating in a way that's sustainable for you, and that when you do let yourself have a treat, when you do indulge, that you don't feel, you know, any sort of way about that. because that's how you just kind of like move on to the next experience. It's only when we feel like guilty for allowing ourselves a pleasure that it sets us up to sort of like go out of balance in our relationship with food. Okay. So, you know, think about what's really sustainable for you on a long-term level. For those of you out there that are on weight release journeys, you know, and you're looking to get healthy on that level, don't try to like take on some externally guided way of eating, because you'll never be able to maintain that long term. And that's why people go through these cycles where they release all this weight and then they gain it all back and then some, and then they got to do it over again, you know. As long as you stay in touch with your body, you'll be just fine, you know. You'll be just fine. And maybe you don't have this like really rapid transformation. Maybe it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens. And when it happens, it's sustainable and it's something that you can actually maintain, because you're doing things in a way that is in harmony with, you know, what works for you. So I think that this has been really cool for me, because this challenge, you know, all these challenges that I've done, this is stuff in the past that used to be really difficult for me. Used to be really difficult for me. And I had so much negative self-talk, and I felt, Ted agrees, I felt like I had to eat perfectly, you know? I felt like I had to do everything perfectly, and it didn't matter how sore I was, or, you know, how much my body was screaming at me to rest, or, you know, I had to just do it full tilt, you know? I was so harsh with myself, and it's really cool to see that I've actually overcome all that stuff. It's like I knew that, you know, I knew it on an intellectual level, but it's been a really long time since I've done any kind of like training like this. So for me to be in this experience and to move through it consciously and aware of my body and listening and going, wow, I really did overcome all that, you know? I really went beyond all of that. And I am in a place where my body is the priority. What my body has to say is what informs me, not anything outside of myself. So I feel really good about that. I do. I feel really, really good about that. And I feel really solid in that. And my body is showing the appreciation by getting healthier, becoming more fit, getting stronger, having more endurance, you know, performing at a higher athletic level. And it's because I do listen, you know, I listen, and I take it easier when I need to rest. So this is how I'm going to make it through the next 6 days of training in a row. I'm about to embark on day 1 of week 4 and get it in. And today I'm going to do low intensity, and I will do the low intensity version as much as I need to this week. I'm going to listen to my body, but I anticipate that today at low intensity is really all I'm going to need. And then if I just get a really good night's sleep in, this is another thing I need to really focus on this week. It's kind of one of my personal goals this week. I need to get my sleep dialed in. And just speaking to you as, you know, a channeler, as a reader, okay? There's like a whole different level of self-care that needs to come in. And I know that my fellow readers out there, my fellow channelers, like, you understand. It's like when the energy comes in, it comes in. And you just sort of like ride that energy out. But man, there's been so much coming in, and especially late at night. And I have not been getting the best sleep. I have not. And I really need to rework that. I need to get my body a little bit more filled up on that level, you know. I've started including some sound baths and some relaxation techniques that have been helping me get better quality of sleep, but I actually need more rest. My body's needing extra rest right now, and I think that's also because of the training. So that's something I'm really tapped into, the need for that right now. And I need a little bit more like nurturing self-care. And I really feel like I need it more at night. At night is when it's really needing to come in. So This week, I'm also kind of up-leveling the challenge a bit. I'm going to put some parameters around my work. And I'm going to also start thinking about my work schedule. When do I take time off from social media, which tends to be super draining for me. And also keeps me up late at night too, you know, when I do drop in to do my work on social media, you know, post stuff about the readings and, you know, the different services I offer and stuff like that. It's just, you know, that computer energy. It really like, it's very like, activating at a time when you're supposed to be, you know, kind of like winding down. So I think I'm going to start restructuring how I line up my work day, when I do my stuff on social media, and sort of like pull back my energy from that. And I can still flow with the inspiration of readings late at night, you know, and drop in and I can record a reading. But I can do the uploading and all the stuff around it the following day if I need to, you know. So I'm going to be looking at some of this, dialing in my sleep a little better, creating a very like soothing, relaxing, wind down routine for myself in the evening that lets me receive some goodness, you know, receive a little TLC. And I think I'm going to like limit my social media time and put more of my energy here on YouTube because I'm really enjoying being in the creative flow and connecting with everybody here. And this is where I want to invest more of my energy. So yeah, about to head into week 4. I'll let you all know how it goes when I get to the end of it. And wish me luck. It's going to be really challenging this week, but I'm in it to win it. And I'm going to finish it out strong. All right. Have a beautiful day.